Hello and welcome to Every Spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where we look at all the spirits from Smash Ultimate and dissect their origins. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally back with the spirits from the second half of 1993. And since it's been so long, let's just dive straight in. Haohmaru is a sword-wielding Ronin and main character of the Samurai Shodown series. Samurai Shodown is a 2D fighting series made by SNK, along with the other 4 ones they made, with this one being set in the 18th century, during Japan's Edo period. As such, the cast are mainly samurai, wielding the unique and time-accurate weaponry said time would allow. Haohmaru is the main protag of the series, a wandering samurai who fights to strengthen his sense of Bushido. He enjoys fighting strong opponents with his powerful wind-based style, though as he's aged, he's began to avoid conflict, and outside of battle, he's surprisingly easygoing, caring mainly for food and his love for Oshizu. Interestingly, despite his many Samurai Shodown appearances, he doesn't show up in the King of Fighters series until the 15th game. In Smash Ultimate, Haohmaru is represented by a Mii sword fighter, dressed up as Takamaru, another samurai. The stage you fight him on is Gerudo Valley, referencing the Texas desert, the home stage of one of the other characters, Earthquake, and the music is Gaia from Samurai Shodown. The rules and conditions will increase the enemy's attack power when the enemy is at high damage, in reference to Samurai Shodown's Rage Gauge, which grants a boost of attack strength at low health. They will also make various sword items spawn, referencing the sword used in Samurai Shodown, and make it a stamina battle, referencing the health system of Samurai Shodown. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, in reference to his strength, and his effect is Sword Attack Up, referencing his blade. Nakoruru, otherwise known as Mother Nature's Guardian, is one of the many warriors in the Samurai Shodown series. Calm, gentle, and maternal, Nakoruru lives to preserve nature, often trying to do so non-violently. That said, being a fighting game character, she often does have to fight, using a Kodachi, animal companions, and various other nature-based powers, like healing. In Samurai Shodown 2, she sacrificed herself, becoming one with the spirit of nature, which Samurai Shodown 64 would retcon, and King of Fighters 14 would follow up on. She and Terry are also the mascots of the Nakoruru and Terry Club, a non-profit organization founded by SNK made to inspire kids to make a better future. In Smash Ultimate, Nakoruru's spirit has you fight against Zelda and a tiny Falco, referencing Nakoruru and her hawk companion, Mamahaha. The stage you fight them on is Yoshi's Island at Winter, in reference to Nakoruru's stage Kamui Kotan, and music is Banquet of Nature, also from Samurai Shodown. The rules and conditions will increase attack power when the enemy is at high damage, another reference to the Rage Gauge, make sword items spawn in reference to the swords from Samurai Shodown, and make it a stamina battle in reference to the series' health system. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, possibly referencing her gentle nature or animal companions, and her effect is Air Attack Up, in reference to Mamahaha's attacks. Wanda is a magical fairy sprite and the main player character of Mario and Wario. In this Japan-exclusive SNES game, Wario concocts the most diabolical scheme in all of gaming, dropping a bucket on Mario's head. Wanda sees this and tries to save Mario, as well as Peach and Yoshi, by guiding them to Luigi, so he can remove the bucket himself. She's also controlled with the SNES mouse of all things, and can detect the psychic potential block fields with her magic, using them as platforms for the helpless heroes to cross. This game was her only major appearance in the franchise, but a sprite of the same species as her appears in Wario's Woods assisting Toad and Birdo. On top of that, the 2 manga adaptations of Wario's Woods, Wanda appears in place of said sprite. In Smash Ultimate, Wanda is represented by a tiny Palutena, Mario, Peach, and Yoshi, referencing Wanda and the 3 heroes that she tries to save. The stage you fight her on is Green Greens, referencing Yosei no Mori, Wanda's home and the first world of Mario and Wario, and the music that plays is the Mario Paint Medley, referencing another game that used the SNES mouse. The conditions for the battle require you to defeat the main fighter to win, in reference to Wanda giving safe passage to Mario and his friends. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since she tries to save Mario, and her effect is Magic Attack Up, since she is a magical fairy. T-Hawk, short for Thunderhawk, is a Native American from Mexico and one of the new fighters from Super Street Fighter II: The New Challengers. This enhanced re-release of the original Street Fighter II would introduce 4 new fighters to the series, T-Hawk being one of them. He and the members of his Thunderfoot tribe were forced off their ancestral land by Bison's Shadaloo organization, with Hawk's father being personally killed by M. Others, including Hawk's lover Julia, were captured and brainwashed by Bison into becoming his servants. Naturally, T-Hawk is not happy about this development, and has joined the Street Fighter tournament looking for revenge. While the Thunderfoot tribe has been shown to be recovering by the time of Super Street Fighter IV, Hawk still continues to fight as atonement for being unable to save Julia, only to later learn that she's still alive. Her mental state is a bit shot, and she's still brainwashed in Street Fighter V, but they're said to be married by Street Fighter VI, so overall it's a happy ending for him. In Smash Ultimate, Hawk is represented by a blue Incineroar, matching his blue outfit and grapple-based movements. The stage you fight him on is New Donk City Hall, referencing Hospicio Cabanas, T-Hawk's home stage, and the music that plays is T-Hawk Stage Type B. The rules for the battle will decrease your jump power, referencing Street Fighter being a grounded fighting game, and the conditions will make the enemy's up special and throws have increased power, in reference to Hawk's various moves, the Condor Dive and Mexican Typhoon. They also make it a stamina battle, referencing Street Fighter's health meter. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, again likely referencing his grapples and grabs. Fei Long is an action film star from Hong Kong, and one of the new combatants in Super Street Fighter II. He began practicing Kung Fu as a child, slowly developing his own unique style. As a form of training, both for himself and his film roles, he partakes in various fighting tournaments, making him a common face in the Street Fighter tourneys. His big break was in Alpha 3, where his attempted kidnapping by Shadaloo was turned into a major blockbuster motion picture. He's also in Super Street Fighter IV, joining that tourney after his newest film begins bearing odd similarities to one of Shadaloo's factions. In Smash Ultimate, Fei Long's spirit is represented by a Grey Lucario, referencing Fei Long's martial arts skills. The stage you fight him on is Arena Ferox, referencing Fei's stage, the Tiger Balm Garden, and the music that plays is Fei Long's stage Type B. The rules and conditions will decrease jump power and make it a stamina battle for reasons you already know, as well as making his punches and elbow strikes and kicks and knee strikes more powerful, referencing Fei Long's Kung Fu moves. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, with his effect being Fist Attack Up, another reference to his Kung Fu moves. DJ is a Jamaican kickboxer, world-famous musician, and new fighter in Super Street Fighter II. One of the most upbeat Street Fighters, DJ has always had a passion for music. Upon realizing fighting has its own rhythm of sorts, he began training as a kickboxer, as well as working on his music career. In Street Fighter Alpha 3, he beat Sagat, which drew Bison's attention. Bison attempted to recruit D for Shadaloo, which was of course denied. Bison then attempted to kill him, and not only did he lose, but this and the other fights gave him the musical inspirations for his big break. He also appears in Street Fighters 4, 5, and 6, continuing to work on his music career and getting into various other tournament battles. In Smash Ultimate, DJ's spirit is represented by a yellow Diddy Kong, matching DJ's clothes and agility. The stage you fight him on is Woohoo Island, referencing DJ's stage Lemony, and the music that plays is DJ's stage Type B. The rules and conditions will lower your jump power and make it a stamina battle, and make the enemy favor side specials, with Diddy's Monkey Flip referencing DJ's own throw of the same name. On top of that, after being defeated, he can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, possibly another reference to his Monkey Flip. Cammy is the fourth and final new fighter added to the roster of Super Street Fighter II. In her first chronological appearance, Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold, Cammy's origin is largely a mystery. She used to work as one of the Dolls, a team of assassins working for Shadaloo, only to break free of her brainwashing and escape. She set out to discover who she really is, and got her answer by the time of Super Street Fighter II, where Bison reveals that she is in fact a clone of himself, created as a second body in case something would happen to his current one. It's a bit creepy, but she cleans his clock regardless, so it's alright, I guess. It's said that if one of them dies, the other will too, or otherwise Bison will just steal Cammy's body, but that hasn't happened in spite of his canonical demise. She's since been a major recurring face of the Street Fighter gang, making major reappearances in 4, 5, and 6. In Smash Ultimate, Cammy's spirit is represented by a green sheik, who looks very similar to Cammy. Her stage is the Bridge of Eldin, representing Fraserburg Castle, Cammy's stage, and the music that plays is Cammy's stage Type B. The rules and conditions will make your jump power go down and make it a stamina battle, as well as giving the enemy's kicks and knee strikes increased power, in reference to Cammy's own high-speed, close-range kicks. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a neutral-type primary spirit, possibly referencing her former allegiance to Shadaloo, and her effect is Foot Attack Up, another reference to her kicks. Amy Rose is Sonic's self-appointed girlfriend and a major recurring hero in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Amy made her first appearance in Sonic CD, where she arrives at Little Planet after learning from her tarot cards that she'd have a destined encounter with the Blue Blur. While this is true, it also results in her being nabbed by Eggman and Metal Sonic, and used as bait to lure Sonic towards their more dangerous traps. In the end, Sonic saves the day, of course, and more importantly, wins Amy's heart. After this, she continued to follow Sonic along on his adventures, sometimes purposefully hunting him down, and more often than not just running into him accidentally and forcing herself into the plot. And who's gonna argue? She's the one with the Pico Pico hammer. Some of her major roles include reuniting the birds in Sonic Adventure, breaking Sonic out of jail in Adventure 2, and forming Team Rose in Sonic Heroes, alongside several support roles in games like Unleashed, Lost World, Forces, and Frontiers. In Smash Ultimate, Amy's spirit is represented by a pink inkling, a pinkish female, I suppose. Her stage is Windy Hill Zone from Sonic Lost World, and the music that plays is Open Your Heart from Sonic Adventure, one of her first major playable roles. The rules for the battle will make hammer items spawn, both the Donkey Kong ones and the Golden Hammers, in reference to Amy's own Pico Pico hammer. The conditions will make the enemy start the battle with a hammer, make the enemy swing the hammer for a long time, and give them increased movement speed, the last of which being a reference to Amy being a speed-type character. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since she's one of Sonic's friends, and her effect is shield damage up, possibly one more reference to her Pico Pico hammer. Metal Sonic is one of Eggman's greatest creations, and arguably the most dangerous rival to Sonic the Hedgehog. Eggman has tried several times in the past to create his own Sonic, such as Mecha Sonic, and Mecha Sonic Mark II. However, it was Metal Sonic who proved to be the one true success story in this regard. Metal was first used during Eggman's invasion of Little Planet. He flew around monitoring Sonic and kidnapping Amy before challenging Sonic to a race around Stardust Speedway. Sonic won, of course, and Metal's corpse was left to rot on the planet. That is, until a year later, where, during the events of Sonic 4 Episode 2, Eggman reactivated Metal and set him back to work, causing trouble for Sonic. He has since made dozens of appearances in the franchise, ranging from playable character to boss battle to background NPC. His most major role of them all, though, was, of course, Sonic Heroes, where he upgraded himself into Neo Metal Sonic, took over Eggman's Egg Fleet, and stole the battle data of Sonic and friends to become Metal Overlord and conquer the world. But you all know how that went for him. In Smash Ultimate, Metal Sonic is represented by a Metal Sonic. Obviously. The stage you fight him on is Windy Hill Zone from the Sonic series, and the music that plays is Sonic Heroes, from the game he was the main villain of. The conditions for the battle make it a timed stamina battle, possibly referencing Metal's original Stardust Speedway fight, as well as giving the enemy a rocket belt, in reference to Metal's jet engine which allows him to fly. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a shield-type primary spirit, possibly referencing his Metal plating, and his effect is Speed Up, referencing Metal being a speed-type character just like Sonic. Akira Yuki is the mascot of Sega's premier fighting series, Virtua Fighter. While seemingly just another fighting game to many, Virtua Fighter was among the first, arguably even the first, 3D fighting game, and a pioneer in the world of 3D polygonal gaming, alongside titles like Super Mario 64 and Jumping Flash. Akira is the main character of the series, as well as the grandson of a martial artist who trained soldiers during World War II. Wanting to test his own skills, and hearing of the first World Fighting Tournament, Akira sets out to battle a host of colorful characters, including movie stars, ninjas, fishermen, college students, and a cyborg. He would return for Virtua Fighter 2 through 5, continuing to hone and improve his fighting skills, and has also made guest appearances in other fighting games, including Dead or Alive 5, Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, and the King of Fighters All-Stars. In Smash Ultimate, Akira's spirit is represented by Black Ryu, a fighting game character in a black uniform. The stage you fight him on is Coliseum, referencing the flat stages of Virtua Fighter, and the music is Cruel Smash, the theme for one of Smash's dedicated fighting modes. The rules for the battle will make assist trophy enemies spawn, namely Akira, and make the gravity extremely high, referencing Virtua Fighter being a grounded fighting game. The conditions make it a stamina battle, referencing Virtua Fighter's classic HP system, and make the enemy's physical and smash attacks have increased power, referencing Akira's strength. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, in reference to Akira's strength, and its effect is Fist Attack Up, again a reference to his powerful combat skills. Maria Renard is a young vampire huntress introduced in Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Despite being 12 years old, in her debut she is a magical prodigy, having mastered various spells and even being able to summon animal familiars. However, she and 3 other villagers are kidnapped and imprisoned by Dracula, with Maria being held under the main hall. Upon being released by Richter, the newest Belmont who's currently hunting Drac, she begs to join on his adventure, and she does, acting as the game's player too, using whimsical magic attacks in contrast to Richter's more grounded weapons, many of which again involving animals. She's since returned for Dracula X Chronicles, Nocturne of Recollection, and most notably Symphony of the Night, with her incarnation there getting its own separate spirit. In Smash Ultimate, Maria is represented by Zelda, Falco, Charizard, and Incineroar, representing Maria and 3 of her animal familiars, Suzaku, Seiryu, and Byaku. The stage you fight them on is Reset Bomb Forest, in reference to Dracula's castle, and the music is Slash from Rondo of Blood. The conditions will make the enemy start the battle with a cuckoo, in reference to the white doves that Maria uses in some of her attacks. After being defeated, she can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, and while she does not have an effect, she can be enhanced into Maria Renard's Symphony of the Night. Shaft is a dark priest and loyal servant of Dracula in the Castlevania series. His debut was in Castlevania Rondo of Blood, where he resurrected his Dark Master and kidnapped multiple girls to serve as Dracula's bride. One of them was Annette, girlfriend of that generation's Belmont, Richter, forcing him to head to Drac's castle and stop them. He and Richter crossed paths once, with Shaft summoning ghostly versions of the monsters that Simon once fought, before destroying Shaft and trapping his spirits in a crystal ball. Later, in Symphony of the Night, Shaft would brainwash Richter, knowing his strength from experience, and using him to defend Dracula's castle and fend off Maria and Alucard. This would be his last major canonical role, as Alucard would finish him off in the Reverse Castle. But he does still appear in a few non-canon roles, like Castlevania Puzzle and one of the pachinko machines apparently. In Smash Ultimate, Shaft is represented by Robin, matching Shaft's red and white clothes, magical powers, and association with their debut game's villain. The stage you fight him on is Dracula's castle, and the music that plays is Dance of Gold from Symphony of the Night. The rules for the battle will decrease your movement speed, possibly referencing Shaft controlling Richter's movement, as well as grant Robin invisibility, referencing Shaft appearing as a ghost in Symphony of the Night. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since he's one of Dracula's servants, and his effect is Magic Attack Up, in reference to his magical spells. Nightman, or Dr. Wily number 044, is one of the 8 robot masters Mega Man fought in Mega Man 6. The plot this time around begins with the first annual fighting tournament, a combat challenge for robots all over the world. In truth, this was merely a ruse for the enigmatic Mr. X, supposedly the true villain who was ordering Wily around in previous games to steal 8 robots and reprogram them for evil. Rock, of course, gives chase, and will eventually find himself in Nightman's stage, a fitting if bizarre mix of medieval and mechanical. Nightman himself was primarily built for combat, with his lower mobility being a cause of his extremely strong chain mace, paired with a shield for added defense. Luckily, the Yamato Spear, borrowed from Yamato Man, can actually pierce through it, making it perfect for sending him to the scrapyard. His only other game appearance was a cameo in Mega Man and Base, but he's also present in some of the mangas, like the Mega Man 6 adaptation and Mega Man Mega Mix. In Smash Ultimate, Nightman is represented by a Metal Simon, a metal fighter who also has a ball and chain whip. The stage you fight him on is Castle Siege, representing Nightman's medieval stage, and the music that plays is the Mega Man 4-6 Retro Medley, using music from his debut game. The conditions for the battle will make it a stamina battle in reference to Mega Man's health system, and make the enemy favor smash attacks, which for Simon makes heavy use of his ball and chain whip, referencing Nightman's Night Crusher. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a shield-type primary spirit in reference to Nightman's shield. Windman, or Dr. Wily number 047, is another member of the Mega Man 6 Robot Masters. Like Nightman, he was set to partake in a fighting tournament until Mr. X came and forced him into servitude. To stop him, Rock must travel to his stage, a giant mechanical tower filled with fans and pitfalls. His weapon, the Windstorm, lets him produce immensely strong wind to blow around foes, and he has fans in his feet to let him glide and fly around. To top it all off, his weakness, the Centaur Flash, kills him in 7 hits, but only has enough ammo for 7 hits, so best be careful with where you're aiming that thing. Like Nightman, he's not appeared much since, only cameoing in Mega Man and Base and popping up in a few manga. In Smash Ultimate, Windman is represented by an orange Mega Man, another orange battle robot. The stage you fight him on is Skyworld, repping Windman's stage, and the music that plays is Airman's stage, referencing another air-based stage for another air-based robot master. The rules make heavy wind spawn, in reference to his weapon the Windstorm, and the conditions will make it a stamina battle and make the enemy love to jump, referencing Windman's flying abilities. After being defeated, he can be equipped as a support-type spirit, since Rock can trade his weapon for his own, and his effect is Insta-Drop, in reference to Windman's original slamming attack. X is the successor to Mega Man and the star of the Mega Man X series. This sub-series is the direct sequel to the classic Mega Man series, set roughly 100 years in the future. X was built by Light in his later years as the first fully independent and free-thinking robot. Upon his rediscovery by Dr. Kane, X's design was mass-produced, giving rise to a new race of robots called Reploids. Of course, as one would probably guess, many Reploids went rogue, becoming the Mavericks, led by the treasonous Sigma. Feeling partly responsible for this, X requested to join the Maverick Hunters, fighting for peace in this new era of robotic warfare. Since then, he's been either the main character, or at least a major character, in every single Mega Man X game, as well as getting roles in their follow-up series, the Mega Man ZX and Zero games. In Smash Ultimate, X is represented by a Cyan Mega Man, who was of course X's predecessor. The stage you fight him on is New Donk City Hall, representing Able City, and the music that plays is opening stage from Mega Man X. The conditions for the battle make the enemy's energy attacks of increased power, in reference to X's ultra-strong X-Buster, make the enemy have super armor, referencing X's armor upgrades, and make it a stamina battle, referencing the Mega Man X series also having health meters. After being defeated, X can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, and while he does not have an effect, he can be enhanced into Full Armor X, also from the Mega Man X series. Zero Buster is one of X's closest allies, as he appeared in the original Mega Man X. Zero was built by Dr. Wily as his greatest invention and counter to Light's work on X. Using Proto Man as a design base, Zero was strong, but also violently disobedient. As a failsafe, Wily planned to flush his mind with his new other creation, the Maverick virus, a computer virus that could force Reploids to go Maverick. He was awakened not long after X, 100 years after Wily's death, initially as a psychotic destructor, though after Sigma subdued him, it seemed to have leveled him out a tad. Following Sigma's defection, Zero took up the role as leader of the Maverick Hunters, and while he is a hero through and through, he's been shown to have a darker streak if overexposed to the leftover Maverick viruses. In Smash Ultimate, Zero is represented by a red Mega Man, another red humanoid battle robot. The stage you fight him on is Big Blue, referencing the Central Highway from Mega Man X, and the music that plays is X vs. Zero from Mega Man X. The rules for the battle make assist trophy enemies spawn, specifically Zero, though this time wielding his Z-Saber, and the conditions will make the enemy's energy attacks have increased power, referencing the Zero Buster, and make it a stamina battle, referencing their health meters. After being defeated, Zero can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit, and while he also does not have an effect, he can be enhanced into Zero's Z-Saber from Mega Man X2. Full Armor X is X after obtaining all of the armor parts in Mega Man X. Armor is one of the recurring items in the X series, and collecting them provides various benefits depending on the game or body part of the armor. This mainly includes reduced damage, as well as occasional new moves and new attacks. This spirit specifically depicts their original Mega Man X incarnation, which were created by Light and hidden throughout the world in light capsules for X to find. The main body armor will reduce damage taken by 50%, the feet grant X a dash move, the head lets X smash blocks above him by jumping, and the arms grant him a stronger charge shot. Afterwards, the armor will be locked back up in a light capsule, getting upgraded into a new set of armor for Mega Man X2. While other armor sets would appear in later games, this specific set would still return in games like Mega Man Extreme, MaverickHunter X, and Mega Man X Dive. In Smash Ultimate, Full Armor X does not have a spirit battle. Instead, you obtain it by enhancing the X Spirit. After doing so, it can be equipped as a grab-type primary spirit, since this form is obtained by collecting armor parts, and its effect is Super Armor, referencing this ultra-strong armor with increased defensive stats. Sigma is the leader of the Mavericks and the main antagonist of the Mega Man X series. Sigma was one of the honorable, if a bit arrogant, leader of the Maverick Hunters, and one of the most advanced Reploids of his day. However, after being exposed to Zero's Maverick virus, his negative traits began to fester and his moral code began unraveling. He soon defected from the Hunters so he could lead the Mavericks in their rebellion, hoping to exterminate all human life as robots are known to do. Luckily, X was able to destroy him, but being a machine, his soul was able to persist as the Sigma virus. He has since rebuilt himself over and over again, acting as the main villain of Mega Man X1-7 and one of the major villains of Mega Man X8. This game implied that Sigma was finally gone, and indeed he has yet to return. But his Sigma virus continued to wreak havoc for many years, until the Mother Elf was able to neutralize it by the time of the Mega Man Zero series. In Smash Ultimate, Sigma is represented by a Violet Ganondorf, referencing Sigma's color scheme and status as main villain. The stage you fight him on is Midgar, referencing Sigma's hideout, and the music that plays is X vs. Zero, one of the Mega Man X series' boss themes. The conditions for the battle make it a stamina battle, and make the enemy's melee weapons have increased power, referencing Sigma's bladed weapons like the lightsaber. After being defeated, he can be equipped as an attack-type primary spirit in reference to his powerful stats as the main villain. And that is all the spirits introduced from 1993, done and dusted. Join me and us next time as we begin discussing the spirits from 1994, including Wario Land, Super Metroid, Sonic 3, and most majorly of all, Earthbound.